with you, and there's fun to be had. Anyone think that's fun? Who are the crazies in the group? Who thinks that's fun? You can go hang out with my husband, huh? Yeah, he's out there with the dogs. He's on trail crew, and he just got off of a river trip. Not quite like this one. That's obviously not the goal. But sure, okay, that's fun for a lot of people. Maybe that part of it to me, doubt it. This, yeah, okay. Most of the Colorado River is this nice mellow pool, but then, boom, it drops. Wayne, what are we at, 150 rapids? Something like that, through the Colorado River in the Grand Canyon. Boom. Big adventure to be had. And my dogs did all this. They got to see it just like you can. They got to raft it just like you can. And hike it and camp it as puppies. Quite an adventure. So there's a lot of fun to be had here. And I also like to remind people, those of you with dogs, sounds like there's lots of you, Grand Canyon is one of the more dog-friendly national parks that I've worked at. A lot of parks I worked in Denali and Mount Rainier, Everglades. There's very few places you can bring a dog. And that makes sense. Why are dogs limited in parks? It's to protect the wildlife primarily, and your animals, of course, and maybe, some people, I don't know how this could be, but maybe some people don't want dogs around. Is that possible? I don't know. So dogs, you don't find them in a lot of landscapes in national parks. Grand Canyon, you can. You can hike along the rim trail on the south rim. Not into the canyon, but on the rim, enjoying the views with your dog. And yeah, it's fun to have good time with your two-legged friends, but it's really fun to have a good time with your four-legged friends too. And you can do that in certain spots at the Grand Canyon. So I've always been fascinated. What on earth makes people happy? I've been working in the national parks for 13 years, and what is it that makes people happy? And this is probably no big surprise. What doesn't make people happy? What doesn't make people happy? Stuff! Oh, science has proven this. Research no, stuff lets us down, stuff breaks, stuff gets old, it's not shiny anymore. That's not what brings us happiness. What brings us happiness is this. It's excitement, it's adventure, it's experiences, no matter what they are. It doesn't have to be this intense. It can be more mellow. Of course, if you want to get there, you have to go down the river. Of course, you can stay on the rim and enjoy other experiences. These are the things that bring people happiness, experience, because they create memories that last all our lives. And that you cannot trade in for stuff. So what I like about this story is that my dogs had an experience that's created a memory that will last forever. And national parks, places like Grand Canyon, are wonderful reserves for those kind of memories for all of us. Everyone in the United States, everyone across the world. Grand Canyon has been giving people opportunities for adventure and fun for a very long time. When did I say it was set aside as a national park? Oh yeah. How long has the Park Service been around? Just a little before. Well, you got the first national park site, Yellowstone. The National Park Service didn't show up until 1916, so we're not quite at a centennial yet, so that's on the horizon. Woo, make your plans now. It'd be very fun. So the Park Service, they're there, rangers are there to help. We'll preserve and protect the place and make sure people have fun, and it has changed, like everything. This was the National Park Service. Love the pants. Love the pants. It has really changed. We now come in all different shapes and sizes and backgrounds. Lots of different people who have love for these places that are so special, that want to protect it and share it with you. And my dogs, yes, they saw the Grand Canyon, they hiked it, rafted it, did all those fun things, and they met almost every kind of ranger you can think of. River rangers, backcountry rangers, the habitat crews that fly the helicopters, the interpretive rangers, the trail crew. They met them all, just like you can when you come up to the Grand Canyon. These dogs met someone else very, very special. that we always have to acknowledge and appreciate besides just rangers, and that would be you. Seriously, if people didn't love and care for these special places, maybe they wouldn't exist. Because you care about them, they're there for all of us. And so these dogs met some total strangers, offered them care and love, and brought them downriver to have even more adventures. And I'll give you all the details in just a moment. So what I like to do with a story like this is to remind you that we can escape this. All this world of chaos and money, financial crises and environmental crises. And a story like this takes us out of this world and just for a little while reminds us of those little joys that are out there. So I'd like to throw you into this world. And I'd like to read this story with you. Before I start reading it, though, there is, I guess, one other thing I should remind you of. Are dogs allowed in the Grand Canyon? No. So, by no means am I saying, bring your dog on a river trip. Bring your dog to Phantom. No. That was naughty, and I have talked to Salt and Soap about that. And they know better now. Think about your own youth. You probably have a thing or two in your past that you're like, ooh, yeah, shouldn't have done that, right? So now Salt and Soap do also. So no puppies allowed in the Grand Canyon. On the rim, yes. In the inner canyon, no. So the story begins, and I'm curious if anyone has ever hiked this. This story begins up in Marble Canyon. It's about River Mile 8, just down from Lee's Ferry. Who's been to Lee's Ferry? Okay, so you know the part of the world I'm talking about. When you split off, you could go up to Page. Instead, you go left and you go over to Lee's Ferry. Not too far from that split off is a turn off to Saltwater Wash. Has anyone hiked that route? Ooh, it's very remote. It's accessed off of the Navajo Reservation. Pets are allowed, actually, on this stretch. It's not a National Park Service, at least the first stretch of this trail. It's very remote. You can see how rugged it is. People ask me all the time, well, what were these little 3-month-old puppy dogs in 2003 doing out in the middle of nowhere? What's the answer? I don't know! Your guess is as good as mine, and Salt and Soap aren't telling. Were they abandoned? Are they wild? We're all from this part of the world. Those of us, you know there's a lot of stray dogs around here. They could have been wild, dumped, abandoned, who knows? Or runaway adventurers. That's what I like to think. Off to do something interesting and new. So the story begins here, and I'll share it with you. Under a brilliant blue sky, 2 puppies lay napping side by side. Their paws wiggled and their whiskers twitched as dreams of adventure filled their sleepy heads. Red earth carpets the ground of this warm Arizona wilderness on the eastern rim of Grand Canyon. Here there's little shade, ravens soar overhead, and cottontails hide in the brush while coyotes wait patiently to make chase. Now, who has dogs? Okay. If your dog was that close to that bunny, would it lay there still? No, neither would Salt and Soap. Good thing they were asleep, huh? Because today that's their favorite thing, which is why we don't go to national parks too often. They like to chase bunnies. That's their favorite. Well, the scent of sagebrush catches the wind, and a distant noise awakens the pups. Curious, they jump up to investigate. Voices fill the dry air, and soon the pups see National Park Service rangers hiking towards them, and the pups run up to greet them. Well, surprised to see puppies in such a remote part of the park, the rangers bend down and scratch the little dog's ears, and the pups roll over and they wiggle with excitement as the rangers rub their belly, their favorite. They think this is pretty cool. Well, park rangers, they help care for special places like Grand Canyon. And these rangers have come for a patrol hike into the canyon to meet river rangers down at the bottom. And the pups peer over the rim and they watch their new friends descend down the trail. Wait a minute. The pups follow. They've never ventured into the canyon. Parks are for wild animals, not puppies. But the pups don't know that, and they jump over huge boulders, and they bound down steep slopes, and they dash sure-footedly, keeping just one step ahead of the rangers, and they all hike deeper and deeper and deeper into the Grand Canyon.